Hi everyone, welcome to the second video, second video I believe, for the Universe project, or Project Universe, I forget what I called it. It's been a while. Today I wanted to follow up on the post from the website talking about tools. One of the things that I've started off doing, I've kind of stepped back from Unity for a bit and have opted to work on some of the less sexy tools that were needed when you're dealing with a game, especially like an RPG style game. You need a lot of data files to define the things in the world, NPCs, inventory items, anything you can buy, places you can go, conversations you have. That stuff's not generated on the fly. That has to have at least some kind of definition in a data set somewhere. Some data serves as a baseline when you're dealing with transactions, especially fluctuating prices. The data files need to be able to provide a baseline price, maybe a baseline quantity, also, a maximum quantity, how much a particular trading station will accept before it will stop accepting anything else that you have to sell them. So working with data files, I've been using JSON so far, which is an open to the world, open it with Notepad or any other text editor, data file format. That is both its pros and cons, I'm sure. I'm sure it's probably not the fastest way to access data. And it's obviously, someone say it's probably not secure, but it does have the benefit of being plain text. Anyone can go in there to edit it, which means that in most cases it kind of is allowing for a de facto state of modding, so that people can come in, they can tweak the values, they can add their own items, they can remove other items they don't like, and so on and so forth. Modding really isn't kind of on my radar yet, but if that's a happy accident, then yay for everyone. So here's the basic set of desktop tools I've been working on so far in Visual Studio. Nothing spectacular. Right now, all it does is allow you to edit a player file and also to edit the master skills record. So the file path will allow you to browse to where these data files are held. When they go into the Unity game, they will be stored in the Unity project file folders, and I will need to point this at those directories at that time. But in the meanwhile, I'm just throwing them into a generic directory. Control panel here is going to provide space for a lot of buttons that do a lot of different things. Right now, the only thing I have is the ability to modify the master skills file. And all this is just a list of skills. Each one has a name, a code, and a description. It'll be fleshed out a little more later, probably with an icon and some other fancy stuff. But essentially, all you do is you just put in like gas extraction, because we want them to be able to extract gas from gas giants and interstellar gas clouds. Oops, extract. Okay, and then we save it, and it adds it to the main list. What this does is when we go into the player editor, or more importantly, when the player creates their character, we're going to have the skills available right here. And each skill starts at 1, and they can improve them through the course of the game or spend points up front in order to boost them out of the gate so that they can specialize in the way that they want. So each player has a name. This is you, or maybe it's the save game, I don't know. The corporation that a player creates is how they're referred to in the game, because you represent a corporation. You'll select your corporate logo, which isn't in yet. Here's the wallet balance. This is a live value. It starts off right now at 10 million, just for the hell of it. But if the game were actually in operation and I were to look at this as a live player, this would fluctuate over time. And you can view transactions that the player has made, and this is intended to allow the player access to some kind of a history, including a date when the transaction was handled, the star system in which it happened, the amount. If it's positive, then the player sold something. If it's negative, then they bought something. And then the note is kind of this munged together text field of what was traded, how much, and to whom. So we'd be able to use all of this data to be able to say that, you know, on this date you sold 50 carbon in a particular star system to this particular NPC, and then we could break it down from there. And I have some editing fields here which will allow me to add in new fields for testing purposes. So here we could tweak we could tweak the player. We can boost his skills if we needed to for the purpose of testing, and then we could save his profile. We can come back in, and we have all those values. So that's basically it as far as I've gotten thus far with the editing tools for the data files. In the next video, I'm going to be showing you what I had done previously for universe generation, the system generation in Unity, which has become the basis for additional tools. Once I get past dealing with all of these base data files, I'm going to need to go in and allow for editing of a generated universe. That's one tool that may actually get released as a modding tool, because the universe is kind of generated when you create a new game. But if people want to go ahead and tweak the the names of the systems, if they want to move space stations around, if they want to throw every single resource in the universe in their home system so that they can just cheat the hell out of the game and put the smackdown on all the opponents, power to them. But I'm using Unity to build the actual universe editor, so I can go ahead and tweak things and test balance, and then translate it back into the application. So that will hopefully be the next video. The editor won't be finished for quite a while, so anything that I have done will be a work in progress. But thanks for watching, and I hope to see you again.